everyone, happy Sunday. I hope everyone knows what time it is. I think it's after, what time is it? I don't even know. Oh, it's like 5:38. So it feels so much lighter out. Mark and I just commented that it's so bright outside, which feels great. It kind of sucks to lose that hour, and it also sucks that it's still cold out. But I feel like we are on the back end of winter. We're almost at spring, and things are going to start happening. The weather's going to start getting warmer, and we're all going to get outside, and it's going to be awesome. However, today, it's Sunday. We went to the grocery store. We did some meal prepping, and I wanted to share with you guys some recipe ideas and some tips because we whipped up a few new recipes this week, and I wanted to give you what we have here and tell you where to get them from. So the first thing that we did was we kind of divide and conquer. I handle breakfast all the way through afternoon snack, and Mark, giving him credit again because he wanted me to make sure, he handles dinners. So the first thing that he prepped was broccoli tots. So if you have kids at home or adults that don't like to eat vegetables, this is kind of a really fun way to get those veggies in that might taste like a carb, but it's really a vegetable, primarily a vegetable. There's some cheese and stuff in there too. So broccoli tots, it's a recipe from the Beachbody website. You can go there and type it in and it will come up. It will have all the directions, but it's broccoli, 2 types of cheeses. What else did you say? Green onions, garlic, and breadcrumbs. I mean, that's really the base of the recipe. What we did to make it even simpler, because the recipe yields 16 tots, which doesn't sound like a lot, but these are bigger. So it's 2 tots per serving. So let me show you. If you guys have one of these, it's like a bar pan. I got mine from Tastefully Simple. It's one of the best investments I swear you can do because it's so versatile. I use this all the time to make like quinoa bars or like little mini muffin logs. This thing is perfect. Hey girl, how you doing? And it was perfect for these broccoli tots because it holds 16, so it bakes 16, and that perfectly fit these tots. And they're gonna pop out and they're gonna look like a little muffin. So when you look at them like this, they're definitely bigger, and it doesn't make you feel like you're getting like a frozen tater tot, which is this little. So in my head, when I saw serving size was 2, I was like, oh man, that's not gonna be a lot. But when you put it like this, it's even easier, and this way it saved Mark the time from having to roll them and shape them and form them. We put it in here, and we're gonna have those later this week, so I'm just gonna cover those up with tin foil and put them in the fridge downstairs, and that'll have even more time to form them together. What we're having tonight, so yesterday all day we were like, what are we gonna have for dinner on Sunday? We kind of leave that open to see what we're feeling, you know, after everything we have had during the week. It's kind of like, what do we want to make on Sunday after meal prepping all day? And I was on Instagram and just happened to see like a meatloaf pop up into my news feed, and I was like, holy crap, that looks so good. And it was a 21-day fix approved meatloaf. So Mark made this meatloaf. So it's turkey ground meat, turkey bacon, there's cheese in here, some breadcrumbs. What else is in the meatloaf? Garlic.
Awesome.
He said awesomeness and love also went into this, and they said just drizzle a little bit of ketchup on top. I don't know if anyone else grew up like that, but my grandma always used to make meatloaf with ketchup on top, and I swear it was the best thing ever. So when I saw him bust out the ketchup, I was like, oh man, this is gonna be like my grandma's meatloaf, because that was just a meal that I remember eating down at my grandma's house. We're gonna pop this in the oven and see how that goes, because it takes about 30 to 40 minutes to bake. So Mark, do you want to come put this in the oven? Something that we are having tomorrow is a spaghetti squash, like lasagna type of a dish. Let me show you this. Like, this thing is abundant. So
You have to use the word.
that was Mark's word. Oh. So basically you have to, once you carve your spaghetti squash open, because that is always the hardest part, I swear, cutting the thing in half. You take out the seeds, and then you just bake it like you normally would a spaghetti squash. And then you have some prep work to do to make the stuffing for it. So this is made with broccoli, there's Parmesan cheese, garlic again, Italian seasoning, salt, pepper, and just some olive oil that he used to saute that up. And then once the squash is done, you take the squash out, you scoop it out, and you mix all of that together, and then you stuff it back into the shell. And so then tomorrow, we have an extra long day tomorrow. So go straight from work, I have something to do at the law office, and then we have to come home, and then we have to go take Mark's Jeep to the dealership, long day. So we're going to have this kind of in between the law office and the Jeep dealership. So now it's fully ready to go. It just needs to go into the oven for 10 minutes. So we can handle that. So when we come home, we can feed the dogs, pop this into the oven, and by the time we're done with that, we'll be ready to eat to run back out the door. That's the importance of prepping. You can get it almost all the way to the finish line and then save that last part, that last, 10 to 15 minutes where it has to cook or bake for the night that you're going to eat it. I get this all the time where people are like, I don't want to have leftovers, or I can't heat something and then reheat it. Well, meal prepping is kind of an individual thing, so you can figure out what point you're comfortable stopping the process. Maybe you just want to chop all your vegetables up and cook your squash, and then tomorrow you'll stuff everything and bake it. Or you can make your broccoli tot mixture. You can have all the ingredients separately chopped up and ready to go, and then you combine them and cook them. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but for us, this gets it so far down the path that throwing it in the oven is no big deal, and it's going to save us so much time tomorrow when we seriously don't have time, and then we have to go pick up Sophie, get her home, and get her ready for bed. So that's my point. Do what you can to get yourself as close as you possibly can so that you don't come home and you're starving and you just start picking at things and eating things. Knowing that this is just going to go into the oven for 10 minutes, I'm not going to be tempted to start grabbing things out of the pantry or the cabinets and eating them. So those are kind of our big meals that we're going to have this week. We're also having hoagies because Sophie Smith sold hoagies for her school. So those are coming on Wednesday, and that was going to be our dinner. One less meal I have to cook, and hopefully they'll be good because you never know when you're getting school fundraiser hoagies, but I'm told that they're good, and I'm excited for that. So we'll have that one night. We'll have our pita pizzas one night, and we have another crock pot meal planned for Tuesday, and that's super simple because I made a rotisserie chicken today in the pressure cooker, and we're just going to throw some salsa on that, and we'll have like a little chicken salsa taco dish. But everything else, like behind me, that's what we're going to eat for like our breakfast. We have our shakes. Now, I keep preaching to you guys, even though it's a shake and it should be easy. We put fruit sometimes go in Mark's. I'm always putting at least 2 teaspoons of like a nut butter, like almond butter or peanut butter in there, and doing it in advance saves me the time from doing it in the morning. It doesn't seem like a lot, but every minute counts when we are taking care of the dogs and taking care of a toddler, and you just never know what you're going to wake up to. What if we wake up to 2 feet of snow tomorrow, and then we have to contend with that? At least this is done. So all we have to do tomorrow is just put the powder in, blend it, and then we're ready to go. So I do that for me and Mark for 2 days at a time, and it just helps us save a little bit of time. I have all my fruits bagged up. I mean, so if you can see, like I like to peel my oranges out of the skin because I eat these at work. And anyone that has had to peel and take apart an orange knows that it is very messy. They're very delicious. They're so good for you. They're packed with vitamin C, and that really helps boost that immune system and give you energy, but they're a mess. So I cut them and I peel them, and then I just put them in a bag, and then I don't have to deal with it at work. I do the same thing with hard-boiled eggs because I see this on Facebook all the time, and I am a victim of this as well. You never know what kind of eggs you're gonna get. So you don't know how long they're going to take to peel. You don't know if they're going to be messed. Or like this week, every one of them I'm beautifully peeled out of the shells. It was like magic. I don't know what the winning combination was. All I can tell you today, which was a little bit different as far as hard boiling eggs, was I used a smaller pot. So I didn't use my big saucepan like I have been using. I used the largest of my pots. And so they were kind of stacked on top of each other. And for whatever reason, the eggs turned out beautiful today. So if you want to try that, maybe that's the ticket to have them all together like that. But they peeled beautifully today, and I didn't have not one single issue like I have the past 2 weeks. So hard-boiled eggs ready to go because when I'm at work, I don't want to be dealing with peeling eggs. And I'm usually like the Hot Mess Express, running from meeting to meeting and taking my snacks and eating them on the go. So I need them to be ready to go. We have oatmeal. So I cook steel cut oats. I portion it out. I put them in here. We'll put some cinnamon on them, put a scoop of coconut oil in them for a little bit of healthy fat, and these are ready to go. So all I have to do is pop this in the microwave. Here's the goal. You want to make this as easy as possible so you do not have any excuses to open up the fridge and say, there's nothing to eat, or to stare at the fridge or the pantry and say, I don't feel like making anything because I'm so hungry. I don't want to wait to cook oatmeal and then eat it. Because oatmeal, when you're making steel cut oats, takes about 20 minutes. That's what you want to avoid. So you want to have it ready to go. So then you're like, okay, there's oatmeal. I can just grab it out of the fridge and zap it in the microwave. And now that solves your problem. So that's the goal here. I made yogurt cups. So this is just Greek vanilla yogurt with almond butter mixed into it. Again, I'm just saving myself time. So I buy the big quart of it and then I portion it out, and I'll put a teaspoon of mini chocolate chips on here. And if I want, I'll throw a graham cracker crumbled up in there. It's amazing. And I post this all the time because it's so good. So good. Mark does not like hard-boiled eggs. Like, I just kind of see food as fuel. I'm going to eat it because it's a good, easy protein. It's portable. I can take it with me. Mark does not want to eat a hard-boiled egg, so I make him clean deviled eggs. So this is with the yolk, Greek yogurt, some mustard. You can put relish in there. I usually put some hot sauce in his. You can make it, I use smoked paprika. You can do hummus if you want something different. So instead of your egg yolks, you can do hummus. You can do a combination. It's really up to you, as long as you're not adding like mayonnaise and things that make them the fat-free or the fat kind, then you're good to go. But so this is what Mark will get as far as proteins for his lunches. We prep all of Sophie's food. So these are Sophie's little containers. This is yogurt with berries. I have oatmeal for Sophie. We have veggies for Sophie. I have my other fruits and vegetables. Like this is an apple I'll have tomorrow. These are raspberries that I'll have with my yogurt on another day. Everything's just kind of measured out. Strawberries, more raspberries. And all of our salads are portioned out. So here's one more tip I'm going to share with you. When you are making a salad, all of the veggies, like the hard veggies, are on the bottom and the lettuce is on the top. Don't ask me why, but for years, forever, up until about 3 years ago, I always, I would throw my lettuce in first. That's how I learned how to make a salad. Lettuce first and then all your other vegetables. It wasn't until I started meal prepping that I started switching the order of my vegetables, because what I found was when I eat a salad on a Friday that I would make on a Sunday, the lettuce was like very wilted, and sometimes if you have cucumbers or tomatoes or something, it just makes everything soggy and gross. Ugh, who wants to eat that? When you put your veggies on the bottom and your spinach or lettuce on top, you avoid all of that. So everything stays fresh. Stop it. I see you down there. Mark's making hand gestures. You can also use mason jars. So if you have like the tall mason jars, and if you ever look on Pinterest, you'll see a million examples of this. You put your like grape tomatoes or your hard vegetables like your carrots or your celery, you put them in first, and then you add dressing. And then it's just, the dressing is going to be amazing. And then you stack all of your other ingredients, putting your lettuce on top. And so then the day that you want to eat it, you just kind of shake up your mason jar and you eat it right out of that. That's genius. I love those. But this is the same principle. So if you don't have those large mason jars, you can still do this and you're going to get the same result. So this is a salad that we will eat on Friday. This is what we're going to eat on Friday, and it will be fresh as I made it today, because I'm going to seal it up with a lid and it's going to go in the crisper and we're going to be good to go. So those are my tips and new recipes. I hope you guys got some ideas. I hope you're feeling inspired. I know sometimes it's so hard and overwhelming to think, where do I even get started? But you just have to pick a place, you have to pick a day, and you have to say, today's the day I'm going to do it. The best thing that you can do is really just focus on one area at a time. So maybe you want to start with just prepping vegetables, or maybe you want to do fruits and vegetables. And then the next week you'll kind of tackle protein. And then the week after that, maybe you can start adding in like some carbs, like some oatmeal or quinoa. and just kind of like oatmeal cups and things like that. So you can just take baby steps. It's so easy to just pick a place and get started. And if you guys ever have any questions or need any help, please ask. Like, this is what I love to do. I don't know if Mark loves it, but he definitely participates in it. So he's waiting to me down there. So feel free to ask, and I would love to talk to you and get back to you. I hope this helps. We're gonna go. I gotta get this all cleaned up so we can have dinner tonight. And we also have to cut Bannon's nails. So we gave him his medicine a few hours ago. It hasn't quite kicked in yet. So we're keeping an eye on him because we have a very small window of time when that medicine kicks in to get his nails cut, and they're like curling under right now. So we gotta be brave, and we gotta do that tonight. Have a wonderful evening, and I hope everyone survived spring ahead. We still have to get our child to bed tonight and see what we're dealing with. So God bless, parents. Let's do this. See you later.